What up, everyone, and welcome to The Social Room, where strategic networking meets insightful business conversations. I'm your host, Aiden Snell, and this show is designed to connect you with business leaders, visionaries, and entrepreneurs who are not only crushing it and making waves within their industries, but who might also just share the game that can take you to the next level. In each episode, we'll explore the stories of these business owners and how they're impacting lives. Who knows? You might just find your next big opportunity right here on this episode. So sit back, tune in, and let's get social. All right, guys, today we are joined by the one and only Chris Dietz, CEO and founder of Only Staffing. Chris, welcome, brother.
Hey, man, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Happy to have you on, bro. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give me a quick background, quick rundown on what it is, who you are, and what it is you do.
So what I do is I own Find Me Staffing Solutions, where I place salespeople into companies, remote salespeople all across the United States.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What a business.
Yeah.
I love that. And how long have you been doing that for?
6 months.
6 months? Nice.
Yep.
How's it going so far?
Man, it's going great. It's going way better than I could possibly imagine.
Let's go. That's
Yeah.
amazing, bro. Well, welcome again on the show, bro. Happy to have you. So the way I like to start these off, I have a segment called the Power 5, right? I'm just going to ask you 5 power questions. You're going to give me your best answer within like 60 to 90 seconds for each question. Sound good?
Done.
Ready to roll?
I love it. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hit it. Awesome.
Let's go.
So the first question I got for you, brother, is what's the most valuable lesson that you've learned from failure?
That you just have to stay on the target, no matter what.
Yep.
You always have to have that target there. If you don't have that target, you will fail. Every time.
Take notes, ladies
Yep.
and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Eyes on a prize, baby. Love that, bro. If you had to start over, what's the first thing that you would do differently?
I would promote heavily on social media using Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, and I would just promote like a maniac.
Yep.
4 posts a day, just like blast everything.
Love that, bro.
Yeah.
Love that. Social media is a game changer. If you're not on social media, you're absolutely tripping.
It is, and it's free.
Fact.
It's free advertising.
Literally. Literally. So next question, what's the best investment that you've made within your business?
Buying, I would say personally investing in my own education. In my business, I would say getting nice cameras, getting a nice laptop, and getting mics, like things like that, so I can create more content.
Nice.
You know, right now, like everything is revolved around content. So you really don't need much to start a business nowadays,
Nice.
truly. Like you don't need a bunch of overhead. You don't need a bunch of staff. You can do everything online.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, it really is. You know, and that's the benefit of like living in our age, right?
For sure.
You know, we could just do everything online. It's so much easier.
1,000%. I couldn't agree more. That's awesome, man. I think that was one of the best investments in my journey as well. Just investing in myself, my knowledge, and also camera equipment, mics. That way you stand out online, you build that credibility, that authority, so that, you know, anything that you do becomes more credible because you just look good online, you sound good online, right?
Exactly.
Love that. If you could master one skill that you may not have right now, what would it be?
Marketing. Running ads.
Nice. That's the best, one of the best ones to have.
Yeah, for sure, man. If I can run the best ads, man, freaking dude, everything else would be great.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that, man. And last question for you, Chris. What's the proudest moment in business so far?
Oh, man. Probably, very recently, actually. I have a big power base, so I'm using my power base. But now I'm starting to reach out and do cold reaches.
What's a power base?
Like a power base is so like your personal community. So friends, family, people you've met in the past, right? So, you know, one of the rules that I learned is that whenever you're starting in business or on a sales career or on a sales path, the first target that you need to attack is your power base, because those are the people that know you the most.
Facts.
And
Absolutely.
you know, I'm using it, but I don't want to rely on it.
Yeah.
So very recently, I started doing a lot of blasting on social media, on like cold DMs, cold messaging, and I found a message that works perfect. I've had more responses than I've ever received ever in my 5 years of sales through cold DMs.
Wow.
Through this one message. So that was like a very big win.
How can the people find out what this one message is?
You gotta follow me on Instagram, Chris Dietz, CEO.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. For any of you guys who are doing outreach, make sure you follow Chris for the secret sauce, man.
That's right.
Love
That's
that.
right.
Well, amazing, bro. All right, so now, Chris, I appreciate all those answers. I'm sure the audience found a lot of value in those answers. I'd love to dive deeper into Find Me Staffing, your company, right? Tell me how, what inspired you to start up this company and go for it? Because originally you were actually, this is 6 months, brand new. What were you doing before then?
I did sales for a very large company, and I produced a good amount of revenue for them. About $18 million in sales.
Nice. Are you allowed to say what company or no?
I'd rather not.
Okay, yeah,
I'd rather not.
No
yeah,
worries.
Yeah.
It's a big company, guys. That's awesome. Big name.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you were working at that company for 6 months, or 6 months ago.
Yep.
And then you left to start up your own thing.
Exactly.
Nice, man. So yeah, what inspired you to get into essentially delivering salespeople within businesses?
You know, that's a really great question. So I was at a point in my career where I previously was, right, in my sales job, and I was at a point where I was making good money, but I knew 10 years down the road, what would I actually want to be doing? And that was playing in my head for months, like 10 years from now, 10 years from now, 10 years from now. And so a good friend of mine introduced me to the space. And once I saw this space, I don't know marketing, I don't know margins, I don't know construction, like I don't know that stuff, right? I just know how to sell. And I know what a great salesperson is. And so if I can just get the right salespeople and deal with companies, which I'm very, very well at, I can just put the 2 and 2 together, and it's a business I'm already very familiar with.
Nice.
And I don't have to learn very much new things about it because I'm very familiar with it.
Love that.
And so I found out about it Thursday. That Sunday, I wrote out my business plan, and then that Monday, I started. I left the company I was with and started my business that day.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so it was really for you just a matter of, I don't want to be working for this team or in this location for like the next 10 years. I want to start up my own thing.
Yeah, you know, it was about like my own goals, right? Like even before living here in Miami, I had my own goals and targets, right? I moved from Pennsylvania, and even before then, when I was unemployed, making literally no money at all, mowing grass for $20 a pop just to pay my rent, I had goals, and my goals were to like start a business. But I didn't know what to do or where it was. I just know I needed to get into sales.
Yeah.
So I used that sales job to fuel my own career, right? Which every great salesperson should do. You know, if they have their own goals, they should get in the right vehicle to support those goals, you know? And so that's what I did.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the specific businesses or people that you're helping within Find Me Staffing.
Great question.
Yeah.
Coaches, consultants, agency owners, videographers,
Nice.
and then really any business that has leads and that has training. If you have leads and you have training available, that is the easiest part.
Yeah.
Me getting your people is so simple.
Nice.
I just plug them in, boom, and they already have the automated system to do it. I simply save the business owner time so they don't have to go through the whole hiring process and searching people on their own.
Okay.
I do it for them.
So let's say I don't have leads and I don't have training programs. Do you still help?
So on that sort of thing, I do not specifically help for that and for the leads and the training side, although I have partners that I can coordinate you with to get you the right leads and the right training.
Nice.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so pretty much you're just really helping out any business that wants more sales, essentially.
Exactly.
And maybe they don't even have a sales team. You're really going in there and implementing that for them. Even if it's required, you know, you can help them get them leads and you know, a client acquisition method that's going to run down the pipeline.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell me about more, like, what do these people, when you work with these, like your typical audience, your typical client, what is it that they really struggle with? Is it just that sales, or is it more to it? You know, what are their pain points?
Man, great question. These are great questions. The biggest pain points are time and not hiring the right salespeople. So many times there's many business owners that they'll hire a salesperson and they may produce maybe 1 to 2 months and then they'll quit, right? And the problem with that is because they probably don't have the right hiring process set up to filter out the people who are going to give out.
Makes sense.
So every company that I start with, I recommend a 3-step interview process, and they do it every other day. So interview 1 would be on Monday, interview 2 would be on Wednesday, and interview 3 would be on Friday. You space it out, or whatever, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, whatever.
Yeah.
You space it out. No salesperson on earth is going to sit through 3 interviews if they don't truly want the job.
True.
Right? So I want to take that time that they'd spend and developing a salesperson, that's actually not even committed. Right? So the whole goal here is to hire the right person, not hire many people.
Yeah, that's
Because
awesome.
one person can mean 10 people.
Yep. I totally agree.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a really great way of putting it, because when you do invest that time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're making them invest that time, so that you're right there in itself is kind of qualifying them in a sense, where it's like, hey, like you said, no person is going to sit through 3 interviews spread out throughout a week if they truly don't want the job. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
I've personally never went to an interview. I've had 2 interviews before where it's like boom, boom. I've never had 3. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love it though. That's smart.
It's in depth.
That's smart.
Very in depth, yeah.
So what happens if these business owners who essentially need help with their sales, they need a team, what happens if they do end up hiring that wrong sales team, right? What happens if they do, try to do this on their own, try to hire a sales team on their own, and let's say it doesn't work out? Have you seen cases like that before where you've experienced other business owners? I know it's only been 6 months, but essentially what I'm asking is, what happens if they ignore these problems, whether it's the fact that they don't have enough time or the fact that they're just hiring the wrong people?
Great question.
How does that translate in their life?
So 2 ways. Number 1, it's on the business owner to realize that there's actually a problem that needs to be handled. There's going to be a lot of time spent on that particular area without actually getting the problem solved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if a business owner is spending all their time on hiring, they're not going to have any time to produce.
Facts.
And they're also not going to put any energy towards there. So their stats could drop. Unless they actually hire a dedicated recruiter to do the work. But I've also done business with companies where they have a dedicated recruiter to help, and they still can't find the right people.
Yikes.
And so that's where I come in. And so I'm able to be the solution for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it typically comes down to the business owner not wanting help and not willing to have help and doing it on their own, which is totally okay. Or they just don't want to grow. Yeah.
That's the worst, bro. I feel like, I'm sure you've come across people who that they can help, you can help them, but they just have that mindset where it's like, you don't really want to grow.
Exactly.
Like you're being a chicken crap right now. Like,
exactly.
It's painful to watch.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I see the potential in you? You don't see it in yourself.
Right.
Which brings me to my next point. So tell me about some of your client success stories. Like, tell me about like the people that have worked with you and Find Me Staffing, and what type of results, what type of transformations did they see?
Man, great question.
Yeah.
So one company I worked with, probably one of my best results, is I placed a gentleman inside of a company. Within his first 2 months, he's starting to make 20 grand a month in income.
Ooh, what was he doing before?
He was doing part-time work for like social media work, and he was also working for another gentleman doing sales. And there was like a limit there, right? His best year ever before was like 80 grand. He's making now 20 to 25 grand a month.
That's crazy.
Within 3 months. Another guy, I placed him inside of a company. His first day, he closed deals.
Wow.
$2,500 sale, $1,500 sale.
Wow.
Within 2 weeks, a guy closes a $5,000 deal.
Let's go.
Just results on results on results. And that's what happens when the hardest part is like the front end, where you're like getting the salesperson in. It's very exciting to hire a guy.
Yeah.
But you gotta like take it slow.
Yeah.
Because it's a long-term game. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so like the reason why it works so well when working with me is that I'm able to spot and detect who's actually gonna stick, and also set the company up in a way where they're gonna weed out anybody that's not gonna stick.
Nice.
And even if they don't want to do a long hiring process, I will make them do it, because I don't want those bad results on my end either.
Yeah, you're responsible for the results.
Exactly, man. Yeah. Exactly.
And it's worth it to wait, however long that process takes, because once you got that guy or that girl on your team, once you have that team member, it's like, it's just a matter, every month is just continuous results that compound on each other. The more that person gets to know your business, the better that team member gets developed, right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's awesome, bro. So these clients that you have that have experienced these type of results, did they already have the leads coming in? Or,
yes.
Okay, so they already had leads, and you just essentially just placed that team member in there to start closing deals.
Exactly.
Nice. Have you worked with anyone who hasn't had those leads yet?
Somewhat. So they have leads coming in, but they also want new leads.
Gotcha.
So if you're a beginner, let's say if you're starting out and you don't have many leads or much money to spend on ads, you could hire a direct message sender, and a DM setter. And my recommendation, no offense to anybody out there if they're in the Philippines or wherever, but I always highly recommend like USA salespeople. I just feel like it's just the best.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
More drive?
Exactly, yeah. You know, they're there, they're humans. If they need to take a call, they can. If a client, like, and the whole setup is this. This is the long-term play with every single salesperson. If you're brand new, let's say you're making 20, 30 grand a month, right? And you have some lead flow, but you don't have enough lead flow to sustain a full-time outbound call person, right? You need a direct message sender, right? The whole goal is to have that setter making enough appointments and deals for you to where you start generating more revenue, and then you transfer that person into an actual salesperson to where you can close deals and take calls, right?
Smart.
And so that's the long-term play.
Got you.
Right?
Start them off as a setter, transform them into a salesman, closer.
Exactly.
Love
Yeah,
that.
start them out there, have them do 100 plus messages a day, set appointments. Dude, there's no way you won't get deals from 100 messages a day. It's like
Facts.
actually impossible.
I know on Instagram, though, the limit is like 50 per day before you get banned, at least from what I've experienced. So how are you sending 100 a day?
So you can use Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
Okay, gotcha.
Those are the 3 outlets that I use.
Nice.
So I typically, my goal is 35 per
Platform.
per platform
Nice.
a day.
Nice.
And then I also just learned from a really good friend of mine that if you customize the messages and make them different every time, you can actually do more. You could do like 100 to 200.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as they're not copy paste.
Exactly, yeah. I haven't tried that yet, but I have gotten banned many times. so yeah.
Same, bro. Especially when I first started off. It's the worst. You can't DM for like a whole week after. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's different, yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Dope, bro. That's awesome. I love that. Definitely something I might be reaching out to you about for sure, because I think that's super valuable. As I progress in my business, I'm starting to delegate, right? And I think having a sales team would be extremely valuable for me. You know, just because I'm the one constantly taking the calls, I'm the one constantly doing the closing, right? Right now, the only thing that I have personally delegated is my my fulfillment. So I got like editors. You know, I've got a virtual assistant, a client success manager, and so that's the next step for me. So we'll definitely be in touch in the near future, and I'm sure anybody watching this video might also, you know, find it very valuable to get in contact with you and see what it's like to work with you. Which brings me to my next point. How can people work with you, man? Where can we find you? Where can we start this process if somebody was interested in the value that you provide?
So you can reach out to me on Instagram, Chris Dietz, CEO. That's probably the best route of communication with me. You can send me an email as well, chris@findmestaffingsolutions.com. Those would be the best 2 routes to reach out to me in the best way to find me. You can find me on LinkedIn, Chris Dietz. There's not many Chris Dietzes out there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, you guys can reach out to me there, yeah.
How do you spell Dietz?
Dietz. So it's Chris, Chris, Dietz,
Nice.
CEO.
Let's go. Any last words you want to leave the audience with, bro?
Absolutely. Do not quit. Anything that you're doing right now, if you're having trouble and you feel like you're not going to make it through, just know the only way you could possibly lose anything is if you don't create it. And if you don't think you can create it again. So just keep moving with that mindset. Like there's so many barriers that come up, man. Like so many.
Yep.
And it's truly a test of the physical universe trying to stop you. Every single time that there's a test, just know that you're actually taking the right amount of action to cause that to happen.
Let's go.
So the more you level up, the more money you make, the more responsibility you'll have. And which more will be on your plate. Your family's gonna be counting on you, your employees gonna be counting on you, your friends are counting on you, your people back home are counting on you. The people you don't even know that see your content every single day and don't comment, but they do see it, they're counting on you as well because they're watching your stuff. So make them proud. Do it, you know?
Appreciate you for being on here, man.
Thanks, bro.
Great episode.
Yes, sir.
Look forward to chatting again in the future.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Peace.
And that is a wrap on this episode of The Social Room. I hope you found some great insights and maybe even some potential opportunities and ideas. Remember, the connections you make today could be the game changers of tomorrow. If you're interested in continuing the conversation or exploring potential partnerships, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Stay tuned until next time.